Hello tribe, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Rafiki. I do videos about sustainability, minimalism. So if you're interested, please subscribe and let's jump into today's video. Just a disclaimer, if you are a sensitive person, I'm going to speak about a sensitive topic. So please jump to the timer that I'm going to put in the description box below. So you can pass that part, or just don't watch this video at all, okay? So why did I become a minimalist? First encounter with minimalism was a forced one. I basically, long story short, when my parents got divorced when I was 12, basically my dad tried to kill my mom. And in that day we had to go out of our house and we never went back. That day we had to sleep in a shelter, and in the next 2 years we had to live in, basically friends lent us houses. We lived in shared houses, in basements. It was a rough couple of years, and because of that we didn't have much, because my mom was at the time raising 3 kids by herself. My dad didn't help out. She earned less than the minimum wage, so we barely had something to eat. Let's not talk about extra stuff like clothing, etc. So during that time, of course, I was a minimalist, not by option, but by force, by the circumstances of life, let's say. In that time, I had few items. I only have 1 pair of sneakers, 1 jacket, and the rest of my clothes fit in a normal drawer. We didn't have furniture. We slept most of the time on the floor. And needless to say, I was a little bit traumatized about that experience. So when we started having a better life, about 2 years after that, we were able to have a place of our own. Still a year in our house, we didn't have any furniture at all. I had a mattress on the floor and that's it. But after a year and a half, 2 years, we started having a good life, afford to have some furniture. I was in my teen years, so I wanted to be fashionable, I wanted to fit in, I wanted to be like everyone else. And I was in a high school that was majorly, most of my colleagues are sons of doctors, military people, lawyers, so people with money. And basically that high school I got in because I had good grades, not because of the money, of course. So I wanted to have what my colleagues had. Of course, I was at a time 15, 16, but because my mom couldn't afford to buy me, like, do you remember the Timberland shoes, like the tall, the ones that go on up to the knee? I would love, but that was like 200 euros, maybe a little bit more, and my mom of course couldn't afford it. So I decided when I turned 16, the first thing I did on my birthday was I went out to the mall and just put out resumes, and eventually I got a job, and that's where I started to have my own things. Had money to afford like buying new clothes, extra pairs of shoes. On that time, of course, I was not a minimalist because I was traumatized of not having anything. So I said, no, from now on I will have everything that I want. I'm going to work for it and I will be able to afford it, so I will never have to go through that again, not having anything. So that went on for about 8 years, 8 to 9 years maybe. It was a period when I went to uni. I went to study in another city, and because I moved to it was like a countryside, because I lived in the capital, so I moved to a smaller city. And because I shared the room, I was in fraternity house, more or less, not the same thing, but similar to that. And I was sharing the room with another girl. We didn't have enough, lots of room, so I kind of minimized my stuff as well. So that was my second kind of encounter with minimalism. Before that, I started traveling when I was 18, and I never stopped ever since. And because I traveled so much, I started understanding that I didn't need that much stuff to get through things, and there were more important things that material things like clothes, bags, etc. So I started disconnecting from those things and start investing more in traveling. Everything that I could save up, I would put through traveling, and didn't buy much clothes at all aside from what I needed. But when I turned 25, so I had that a quarter of a century crisis, and I start find it searching meaning for my life. I know traveling was a big part of what I wanted to do, of who I was, but I still wanted to find first of all ways to travel more, because I wanted, at that time, a dream was building up in me to be a full-time traveler. So just a second. So I started searching for ways that I could travel full-time, and I stumbled upon two guys. They were the minimalists, and I'm like, what is this? Then I saw the documentary. I will try to link it down below. It is on Netflix, but I think it's on YouTube as well. I would leave the links down below, as well as the YouTube channel of the minimalists. So, and I will link it down below. I saw the documentary, and then I went to see their TED Talk, and I'm like, oh my god, yeah, I went through this already, but I didn't recognize the value on that experience that I had because I was too young. But now I'm like, yeah, if I disconnect, if I live a more simple life, I can totally afford focusing on my dreams and everything. So that was my the beginning of my journey on minimalism at this time. It was the main reason I wanted to find a way that I could travel full-time or travel more, because I'm still trying to figure out how to travel full-time. Yeah, and the second reason was that when I saw the documentary, they talked about their experience, and it's really interesting, and they had so much and always wanting more and more, because they thought the lacking that they had inside was something that they could fulfill with something material, and it turns out, of course, it was not. It never is. And then I started doing introspecting and thinking, why did I crave outside stuff, material stuff, and start to think about what really makes me happy. And I did a list, and the first thing was traveling. I will make a video about this because it's a really passion of mine, and not just because I see exotic places or not, but I have loads of experience, and I'm going to do a series about my traveling and my stories because I have loads of it. I started thinking, and everything that makes me happy, like traveling, of course I need money, but I think traveling is the only thing that you need money that really makes you richer and brings you something of value. Then it was spending time with my family, spending time with my friends, and all of that I can do without needing money, like hugs, kisses, the 2-3 hour talks, laying in bed, cuddling with my boyfriend. Those were the things that really bring me joy and warmth to my heart. So I'm like, yeah, I don't need money that much, and I don't need a 200 euro pair of shoes. Minimalism for me I'm not going to go too in depth with this because I think I want to do a video about what minimalism is for me, but basically Josh from The Minimalist says, like, minimalism, it's a tool. It's a tool that you use on a journey in your life. It's not a destination, it's not the journey itself, it's a tool that you can use throughout your life. Those were the main reasons why I became a minimalist, so I could travel more and could give value to the really valuable things in my life. Yeah guys, and that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, just leave it down below and I will answer them. I'm going to do a series about minimalism, so I'm going to do a video about my wardrobe, etc., so you can see how I use minimalism in my life. And yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope everything's okay. Give a like, subscribe to my channel, it will help me a lot. Please let me know what minimalism is for you. And yeah, see you on the next video guys. Don't miss the next video because we certainly won't. Of course. Okay. Fuck sakes, liga sério.